Good afternoon, children. So we are back with our geography class. I expect that you all have done very well in the geography portion which you had last week. That is the first periodic test. And let me continue with the next physical division of India. This is the fifth physical division of India. That is the Indian coastline. So the Indian coastline has a huge length, and this coastline covers a distance of 7,516.6 kilometers. Now this coastline not only includes the territory that lies within our Indian mainland, but it also includes the coastline that lies in the Indian Union. That is, I am speaking of the island groups, the coastline of the island groups. So together, that is of the mainland. When I say mainland, that means it is the main part of India. And when I say Indian Union, it means India along with its island groups. So the island groups are having a huge coastline, as well as the mainland India is also having a huge coastline, which we study or divide as Eastern Coastal Plain and Western Coastal Plain. Now this Eastern Coastal Plain, Western Coastal Plain and the coastline of the island groups covers 7,516.6 kilometers. This you have already studied before in the first chapter. But today we will study about the Indian coastline specially. So let us proceed to the next part, that is the Western Coastal Plain and the Eastern Coastal Plain. So children, here we have the Indian Coastal Plain, the map of Indian Coastal Plain, and we will be drawing the coastal plain map in this way. So we have a huge length of coastal plain, as I had said. It covers a distance of 7,516.6 kilometers, and it includes the Western Coastal Plain, the Eastern Coastal Plain. There are several island groups here. We have the Lakshadweep Islands, and this side in Bay of Bengal we are having the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands. So together, all this together covers a distance of 7,516.6 kilometers. But the mainland, that is the main India, covers a distance of just 6,100 kilometers. So the length of Indian coastline in the Indian mainland is 6,100 kilometers, but in the Indian Union, that is our Indian mainland plus the island groups together, that makes the Indian Union. So the Indian Union, it is 7,516.6 kilometers. Now, this Indian coastal plain includes the coastal plain that lies in the western side, that is the Western Coastal Plain, the coastal plain that lies in the eastern side, that is the Eastern Coastal Plain. Now this Western Coastal Plain in fact extends from here itself. Now this is the Gulf of Cambay, or we say Gulf of Humber. Both the names are popular. Previously used to be known as Gulf of Cambay. Now it is known as Gulf of Humber. So from here, from this side, it extends and continues till here. That is, here we are having Kanyakumari or Cape Comorin. This is Kanyakumari. here we have Kanyakumari or Cape Comorin. So from that side to from here till this much. This is the entire length of Western Coastal Plain. So you can see, children, here we had done our Western Ghats. Our Western Ghats was here in this way. This was our Western Ghats. So you can well see that the Western Coastal Plain is sandwiched. It is a very narrow coastal plain. It is sandwiched between the Western Ghats here and this side we are having our Arabian Sea. So the Western Coastal Plain lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. It's a very narrow stretch of plain, but it extends long from nearly our Gujarat coast, covering the states of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and our Kerala. And hence they are known by different names in different parts. Now coming to the first part of our Western Coastal Plain. Now this first part extends in Maharashtra, and this portion is the number 1 portion, that is the Konkan coast. Or you can simply write number 1, and this covers our state of Maharashtra and a part of Goa also, and Goa is here. So in some of the books, children, you will get it as Konkan coast covering only Maharashtra. In some books you will get it as a part of Maharashtra only separately as Konkan coast. So the Konkan coast covers our state of Maharashtra. The second one, that is our Kannada coast, lies in Karnataka. So this one is in Karnataka, or it is known as Kannada coast. Now children, the people who live in this coastal districts of Maharashtra, their language is Konkani. So based on that, the name Konkan has been given. Similarly, here in Karnataka, the main language spoken is Kannada. So the name Kannada has been given. And the third part is the Kerala coast, where the main language, of course, is not Malabar, but still it is known as Malabar coast. So this Malabar coast forms the third part of this Western Coastal Plain. So Kannada coast, here you write number 2, or you can write number 3, or Malabar coast, as you feel like. Now this coastal plain, the Western Coastal Plain, as I have stressed very much, that this is a narrow coastal plain, very much unlike the Eastern Coastal Plain. It's a narrow coastal plain, and the Western Coastal Plain is dotted with several creeks. There are some sandbars, there are lagoons, especially here we have a lagoon here in the Kerala coast. Kerala coast is known for backwaters or lagoons. You must have heard of boat races held in Kerala, and these are held in these lagoons. The boat races are known as Ballamkali. The lagoons in local language is known as kayaks. And here we have the Vembanad Lake. The Vembanad Lake is a very famous lake of Kerala, and it is one of the largest lake or the lagoons in Kerala. Now what is a lagoon? Now lagoon is a shallow body of sea water that is partly enclosed by land. So this is the land portion, and here the sea water has entered. So it's a shallow body of sea water. Here this part is totally sea water and it is partly enclosed by land, and generally this happens due to the deposition by the sea water. So along the western coastal plain, children, there are several such deposition features, like there are cliffs, there are sandbars, there are lagoons, there are backwaters. Now as I proceed at the end of the chapter, or at the end of this coastal plain, I will give you some terms and definitions which you will come across later also, and they are a part of this marine erosional or depositional features. Now coming to the eastern coastal plain. The eastern coastal plain obviously stretches between the eastern Ghats. Now this is the eastern Ghats. This one was western Ghats. So this side we have the eastern Ghats, and of course our Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal lies in the eastern side. This is our eastern sea washing the shores of eastern coastal plain, and this side we are all these are the eastern Ghats. As you can see, this portion is not sandwiched, very unlike this one. This is quite broad. The eastern coastal plain is very much broad. It is so wide. Why it is wide? Because here we have deltas of major rivers. It stretches from the Orissa West Bengal border. Almost here we have another river known as Suvarnarekha river. So it stretches from this Orissa West Bengal border till Kanyakumari. So the length almost is the same, but it is wide. It is wider because here there are deltas of some major rivers, and this major rivers has deposited lot of alluvials, giving rise to fertile coastal plain along the eastern coastal plain of India. Now let me see or draw the major rivers. Which major rivers are there flowing? So here we have Mahanadi river flowing in this way and forming a delta. Then we have Mahanadi. After Mahanadi river we have Godavari river, which starts from the western Ghats in this way and it makes a delta here. Then we have, this is Mahanadi. This is Godavari. Then we have Krishna river flowing in this way, making a delta here. And then we have Kaveri river, which also rises in the Brahmagiri range of Western Ghats and makes a delta here. So all these rivers which are cutting across the Eastern Ghats and making deltas, they are depositing alluvial sands and making the area very fertile. Now the division of this eastern coastal plain, obviously this eastern coastal plain has two divisions. Now it stretches between our Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. So this part, the northern part, from this portion, that is from this part till our Krishna Godavari delta, till this part, that is from here till here. So it's a huge length. Here it is known as Northern Circars. Here it is known as Northern Circars. That is, it is covering the coast of Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. So this portion from little bit north of Mahanadi Delta till our Krishna Delta, we have the Northern Circars. South of this portion, that is still our Kanyakumari, covering a part of again Andhra Pradesh as well as our Tamil Nadu. This portion is known as Coromandel. Coromandal. This portion is known as Coromandel. Here also I have written number 4 as Coromandel. So this is the number 4 one, Coromandel coast, and this one is number 5, Northern Circars. So these two are the major parts of our eastern coastal plain. So I am again revising, children. Konkan coast in Maharashtra, Goa, Kannada coast in Karnataka, Malabar coast in Kerala, Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu, and half of our Andhra Pradesh, and then Northern Circars, so a part of Andhra Pradesh and Orissa. So here, children, we have one small lake which is known as Pulicat Lake here. In fact, it was in the coast portion, but due to deposition by this Godavari and Krishna river, this has come inland within our Indian territory. Otherwise, here it was in the coastal portion previously. Now this one, you must be surprised, what is this I have drawn? Now this one is our Chilka Lake, which is the largest lake of our country. This Chilka Lake, it is noted for a huge presence of huge marine resources, and it is a place where different kinds of migratory birds flock here, different marine amphibians flock here in this Chilka Lake. So these are the major parts of our Indian coastal plain with its different divisions in the coastal plain. Now children, coming to a part which is not mentioned in your book, but here also we are having this as a very important part of our country. Though it is not mentioned in your NCERT book, I would like to give you this extra information. Now this portion and this portion of our Gujarat, there is no mention of it. Now you must be knowing, children, this portion is known as the Kutch Peninsula, and this part is known as Kathiawar Peninsula. Now this Kutch Peninsula and Kathiawar Peninsula belongs to Gujarat. This Kutch Peninsula, children, is known as peninsula because there is water on 3 sides. Here also there is water, here also there is water, and this part also there is water. Pakistan is there in this portion. So there is water on 3 sides, so it is a peninsula. Similarly for Kathiawar also there is water here, there is water here, and there is water here. Because of presence of water on 3 sides, it is known as a peninsula. Now this Kutch Peninsula has 2 parts. In fact, Kutch Peninsula, Kathiawar Peninsula are included within the Central Highlands, or you can say the Peninsula Plateau division of India. But now this Kutch Peninsula has leveled down. Now it has come down due to deposition, and so it is now no longer considered a part of our Central Highlands or our Peninsula Plateau. Now this Kutch Peninsula is divided into 2 parts. The upper part, there is salt deposits. I have referred to it in the desert portion. It is known as the Great Rann of Kutch, and there is lot of deposits of salt. Previously, this river Indus used to flow. It was a sort of island, and river Indus used to flow many years ago. And then, due to deposition of river Indus, it has become a part of the mainland. And Great Rann of Kutch is the northern part, and this portion is known as Little Rann of Kutch. Great Rann of Kutch and Little Rann of Kutch. And this Kathiawar Peninsula, here also there is some hills. Here we have this Mandav Hills in this portion. Here there are Mandav Hills, and this portion there is the Gir Hills. You are known very well that this Gir area is densely forested, and it is the homeland of many lions. So Gir forest is here. We have the Mandav Hills here, and Mount Girnar is the highest peak of this Mandav Hills, which lies in Kathiawar Peninsula. And in this portion of Gujarat, we have the Gujarat plain. The Gujarat plain is little bit sloping towards the western part, and it is formed by the deposits of some rivers like our Narmada, Tapi river. Narmada river is here, Tapi river is here. Then we have Sabarmati and Mahi flowing in this way. So there are some rivers which are flowing in this portion, and they have formed the Gujarat plain. It is agricultural, very much productive, but the weather is very dry here, and otherwise there is no very much agricultural importance of this portion. Here one thing I missed out. It is known as the Gulf of Kutch. Okay, so Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Cambay or Khambat, and then we have the coastal plain, Gulf of Kutch here with the Great Rann of Kutch, Kutch Peninsula. Here we are having the Kathiawar Peninsula. Then we have a part of Gujarat plain. Then comes our Konkan coast, which covers our Maharashtra, Goa, our Malabar coast, our Kannada coast in Karnataka, and then the Malabar coast in our Kerala, Coromandel coast covering our Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, northern circles covering a part of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. So Indian coastal plain is this much, children. I will give you some definitions in my next lecture. So it's this much in my Indian coastal plain, or when we meet in Cisco WebEx, I will give you the definitions of different features which we commonly find lying along our Indian coastal plain.